Good morning, boys and girls. Today is Wednesday, the 3rd of February 2021. First up, senior infants, we are going to correct yesterday's phonics, so please open up your Just Phonics book on page 71. This word was a golfer, so give it a tick if you matched it to this picture. This number is the number 6. Toaster, this is the picture of the toaster. Shiver, the boy is shivering because he is so cold. Duster, you'll dust away the cobwebs up in the corners of the walls. And river, the River Shannon is in Limerick. Here I had er, 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 and this word was number. Tall b, and my special friend Here I know my special friend is at the end, and I have a small letter and two tall letters, which is after. Tall f and tall t. This was a picture of a mixer. The man, his job is a painter. This is showing the season, winter. And remember, you should have given yourself a smiley face, fine face, or sad face. Well done, boys and girls. Today, boys and girls, you are doing your phonics in your Over the Moon book. So open it up on page 71, please. Activity A, you have to ring the pictures that have the sound and cross out the ones that don't. So here you saw this word in your Just Phonics. It's a picture of a hanger. Hanger. It has the sound. When you've done activity A, you move on to activity B. You trace all your special friends. Read the word out loud and match it to its picture. Fast, faster. I can see this boy at the front is running faster than the other children. Then you move on to activity C. You look at the picture and think, what word is it? Well, this is a river. You sound it out, sound by sound, and spell it. Riv. Riv. That was the first part of my word. Next part, That's my special friend. Finally, in activity D, you underline all of your special friends and read the paragraph out loud. Remember to write today's date, the 3rd of February, up on top. The 3rd day of the 2nd month, 3.2. Best of luck, boys and girls. First up, boys and girls, we're going to correct yesterday's phonics. So open up page 63 in your Just Phonics please. You had to write all of your words. So the first one was first. First. Next, circus. If you notice, the C at the beginning is making this sound. C-I-R-C-U-S. Next, one of our 2D shapes, circles. C-I-R-C-L-E-S. 30. 30 is the same as 3 tens. E. The Y at the end is making the long E sound. Thirty. A word that rhymes with 30, dirty. D-er-t-e. D-I-R-T-Y. You should know, boys and girls, when you have the long E sound at the end of a word, it's usually spelt with the Y. Shirt, sh-er-t, S-H-I-R-T, and skirt, S-K-I-R-T, S-K-I-R-T, those two words rhyme. And finally, bird, B-R-D, B-I-R-D. Next, you're going to be spelling your words that are spelled with your U-R special friends. So first, surf, S-R-F, S-U-R-F, hurt, H-U-R-T, H-U-R-T, purple, which is Kirkra Osquelga, P-U-R-P-L-E, P-U-R-P-L-E, fur, F-U-R, the fur on an animal is their coat, F-U-R, future, F-U-T-U-R. And future is actually a bit of a tricky one there, boys and girls, because the magic E is actually turning the into the U sound. Burning, B-R-N, burn, that's my first syllable, and my second syllable, ing, I-ng, B-U-R-N-I-N-G. Burgers, making me hungry right around lunchtime once again. B-R-G-ers, and there's two special friends there. The first is U-R and the second is E-R. And finally, curly, K-R-L-E, and once again there are Y that's making the long E sound at the end. Remember, you should have given yourself a smiley face, fine face, or a happy face. Well done, boys and girls. So today, boys and girls, we are going to be going through some grammar, and we're going to be learning when to use the words did, do, or does, which are some of our tricky words, when we're using questions. Do is used in the present tense, something that you're asking is happening now or happens every day. You use the word do for a question word when you're saying do I, like do I wash my hair every day? No. Or do you do your homework every weekday? Yes, you do. Do we do our home learning every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday? Yes, we do. Do they have time off at the weekend? Yes, they do. So you use the question word do for I, you, we, and they pronouns. Does is also used for the present tense, things that are happening now or happen every day. You use does with the pronouns he, she, and it. So for example, does he go to the shop every day? No, he doesn't. Does she want the sweet? Yes, she does. Does it like to rain every day in Ireland? Yes, it does mostly like to rain in Ireland. Then the word did is used in the past tense, something that's already happened. You use did for I, you, we, they, he, she, and it. You use it for all the pronouns. It just has to have happened already. So in activity A on page 87 in your Better at English, boys and girls, you have to read your questions and see which word makes sense. Did, do, or does. So Number 1, do you like sweets? The pronoun there was you. I don't have a pink, but you could have colored it pink. And you is happening now, so you would write the word do. Here, do you fall in the yard? That's a present tense verb and it's you, so I write do. She coat fit you. Oh, sorry, the coat fit you. Sorry, it was a bit small there. The coat fit you. Well, the coat is a thing, so it's it, so the word would be does the coat fit you? Then you are going to move on to activity B, and you have to categorize these items, these nouns, as belonging to the supermarket or belonging to the swimming pool. So, basket. Does a basket belong in the supermarket or swimming pool? It belongs in the supermarket. So you're going to have to write super nice and neat today, boys and girls, to be able to fit in your words. And swimsuit. Does it belong in the supermarket or in the swimming pool? Now, I know you could say that you buy it in the supermarket sometimes, but it really belongs to the swimming pool category, so we'll just write swimming. And then finally, you're going to have your tricky word spelling test today. Now remember, this is just practice, so just try your very best. So today we're going to be going back over our tricky words from our yellow tricky word list. Number 1, you. You are very good. You. Number 2, come. Will you come to my party? Come. 3, said. Grrr, said Fred. Said. Number 4, there. Where is the sweet? Oh, there it is. It is over there. There. Number 5, go. I will go to the shop. Go. Number 6, no. No, I cannot go to the restaurant because it's closed. No. Number 7, so. So which is the answer? Hot or cold? So. Number 8, my. My favorite color is white. My. Number 9, your. What is your favorite color? Your. And number 10, they. They love the color purple. They. Okay, so boys and girls, we're going to correct now. If you need to pause to go back over them, that's fine. So number 1 was you. Y-O-U. Now remember, these are tricky words. Our phonics doesn't always help us when sounding them out. Number 2, come. C-O-M-E. The E is silent and the O sounds like an U. Number 3, said. S-A-I-D. The AI is making the short sound there. There. There's three types of there. This is the there that is not here. It's there. T-H-E-R-E. I actually try and remember that by knowing the word here is spelt in there. It's not here, it's there. And you'll know the spelling here is inside. Number 5. Go. G-O. Number 6. No. N-O. Number 7. So. S-O. They're all rhyming words. Number 8. My. M-Y. And the Y is making the I sound at the end. Number 9. Your. Y-O-U-R. The word you is at the beginning of it. And finally, they. T-H-E-Y. Now remember, you give yourself ticks for each one that you spelt correctly. Count how many ticks you got and give yourself a score out of 10. Then count up in tens to find your percentage and write your percentage here. Remember, diagonal line pointing to the top right corner with the circle over and under the line. Well done, boys and girls. Now, boys and girls, it's time to correct our spelling. So open up your Spellwell on page 39, please. Activity C, the picture was of a pup. P-up, pup. The picture was of a cup. K-up, cup. The picture was of a cut. K-ut, cut. The picture was of the sun. S-un, sun. The girl can run. R-un, run. The picture was of a nut. N-ut, nut. Now get your super speller fists ready for your spellings tonight. Let's go. K-ut, cut. Pretend to cut with your fingers as if they were scissors. Cut, 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 cut. It's a doing word, so it's a verb. Color it red, please. Next one. Nut. Pretend there's a nut on the table and point to it. It's something you can point to, so it's a thing. It's a noun. Color it yellow, please. And next, put. Pretend to put a pencil on the table. Pretend to put a hat on your head. Pretend to put a necklace on. Pretend to put on a jumper. Put is a doing word. It's a verb, so color it red, please. Then you move on to activity D. You have to match the correct word to the jumbled up and rewrite it again correctly. So here, cup, 3 letters, so it can be any of these, 1, 2, or 3. It has to have k. This word has it. Does this word have it? No, it doesn't have k. Does that word have it? No. So let's check, does it have a? Yes, it does. Does it have p? Yes, it does. So it's this word, k, a, p. Remember to send a photo when you're done, boys and girls. Now, boys and girls, we are going to correct last night's homework. Your first spelling was y-a-r-d, Y-A-R-D. Next was keep, K-E-P, K-E-E-P. Next spelling was car, K-R-C-A-R. Next spelling was alarm, A-L, arm. R-M, A-L-A, arm. A-R-M, sorry. Alarm. 2 syllables in that word. Next spelling was mixer. Mixer. M-I-X-E-R. And finally, arm. A-R-M, arm. Now get your super speller fists ready for your spellings tonight. Ever. Ever. And they lived happily ever after. Next word, after. 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 Again, they lived happily ever after. Both of those words are actually adverbs because they tell you how something was done. So you could color them orange. After is also a preposition. He ran after the boy, or you could say he put the toy after the box. It can be a preposition and an adverb. So you could color it half green and half orange. I don't have any orange, that's why I'm not coloring them in, but I have the green, so I colored it half green there. Next spelling, the is making the long U sound, so super. Super. You did super. It's an adjective, so color it blue, please. And finally, mixer. He put the pancake mix in the mixer. It's a thing, so it's a noun. Color it yellow, please. And finally, you have to break up this sentence that has no finger spaces and write it correctly with your capital letter, finger spaces, neat writing and full stop. Best of luck, boys and girls. Send a photo when you're done. Next up, boys and girls, it's time to sit back, relax and listen to your book, The Grizzly Bear Who Lost His Grrr by Rob Biddulph. And this time when you're done, I want you to sequence and retell the story in your own words following the story mountain. I want you to start your story parts using super sentence starters. So for example, once upon a time, one day, unfortunately, luckily, finally. So once upon a time, there lived a bear called Fred who was very competitive. He lived alone in the woods and every year he competed in a contest. So that is an example of how you set the setting. Remember, send a recording of you retelling the story in your own words if you want, and if you just want to do it without recording, that's totally fine too. I hope you've enjoyed reading this book this week. Anew, we are revising our co-raw phrase, what am I doing? Cad atá siúl agam. Repeat after me. Cad atá siúl agam. Your turn. Tá mé ag scríobh. I'm writing. Pretend to be writing as you listen to me, boys and girls. Tá mé ag scríobh. Repeat after me. Tá mé ag scríobh. Your turn. Tá mé ag léamh. Repeat after me. Tá mé ag léamh. Your turn. Tá mé ag canna. Repeat after me. Tá mé ag canna. Your turn. So senior infants, I want you to practice saying these sentences, and first class, I want you to practice reading them. Tá mé ag scríobh, tá mé ag léamh, tá mé ag canna. On sin, you can play your game Cada tá siúl agam. Buin tanna bás bucalaí agus Colíní. Just a reminder, boys and girls, for your science this week, I want you to be listening and watching the story all about Drippy and the water cycle, and be learning the sequence of the water cycle: evaporation, condensation, precipitation, and collection. Evaporation is when the water heats up, turns to gas, and rises up high in the sky. Condensation is when the gas gets colder the higher it gets up in the sky. It turns into water droplets that all join together to make clouds. Precipitation is when these water droplets are all joined together that they become so heavy they burst into raindrops that fall from the sky. Finally, collection. All these raindrops have fallen to the ground and find their way back to lakes, rivers, and oceans. Lakes we have that are local to us are Lough Gur. Have you ever been to the lake Lough Gur? Or rivers like the River Shannon that we can see in town. Have you ever been to the River Shannon? Or oceans like the Atlantic Ocean, that's the nearest ocean to us. Have you ever flown over the Atlantic Ocean? Now, boys and girls, it's time for our mental maths counting in twos. Senior infants and first class, let's get ready to count in twos nice and quick. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30. Next, boys and girls, in first class, we're going to be learning our 2 times tables: 7 multiplied by 2, 8 multiplied by 2, and 9 multiplied by 2. We are going to use our fingers to help us count in twos and do our multiplication. So let's start with 7. Everybody put 7 fingers up. We're going to use these to count in 2. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. 2 multiplied by 7 is 14. Now let's check if I do my jumps in twos that I land on 14. I'm doing how many jumps in twos? 7 jumps. So let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now let's check. I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 jumps, and I landed on 14. Yes, that proves 7 multiplied by 2 equals 14. Next up, boys and girls, 8 multiplied by 2. Put up 8 fingers, everybody. Let's use our 8 fingers to count up in twos. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. 8 multiplied by 2 is 16. Let's check if I do 8 jumps of 2 that I land on 16 just to prove it. Well, here I've already done 7 jumps, so I just need one more jump to make 8. And yes, when I jumped in 2s, I landed on 16. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. 8 multiplied by 2 equals 16. And now 9 multiplied by 2. Put up 9 fingers, boys and girls. Let's use these fingers to count in 2s. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. 9 multiplied by 2 equals 18. And let's do our jumps just to prove it. I have 8 jumps. I'm doing one more jump of 2. 1, 2, and I land on 18. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. 9 multiplied by 2 equals 18. So we've 2 strategies there, boys and girls, in first class to help us multiply. You can use your fingers to count up in 2s, and you can use a number line to help you count up in 2s. Next up, boys and girls, it's time for our hands-on maths activity. Today we're going to be exploring how much do different containers hold. We're going to be sorting them into sets that hold more than 1 litre, sets that hold less than 1 litre, and sets that hold about the same as 1 litre. So, for this investigation, boys and girls, you're going to need different containers. You're going to need at least one that you think is smaller than a litre, one that you think is the same as a litre, and one that you think is more than a litre. So you're going to need at least one of each, but you can do more if you'd like. You're also going to need one container that you know for sure holds 1 litre. Now our safety tip is that we need to be careful of spillages, because again, we're pouring liquids here, so it's recommended to do it over the sink or in a basin, or like Aisling and Dara, who did it outside. Very clever, very minimal spillages inside then. Your method, your steps to follow are: first, you're going to fill your litre container with water. Now this is the container that you know for sure holds 1 litre. You fill it with water until it's full. Then you take one of the containers that you're investigating and you pour the water from your litre container into it. You have to watch and observe what happens. If the container that you poured into fills up and there is still water left in the litre bottle, well then you know the container holds less than a litre. If when you pour in the water from the litre container it fills up and there's nothing left in the litre container, well then it holds about the same as 1 litre. And if when you pour the water from the litre container it doesn't fill up but there's no water left in the litre container, well then you know the container holds more than a litre. Repeat these steps 1 to 3 with your different containers. I want you to write or send a photo of your results and sorting your containers into sets of less than a litre and more than a litre. You can send a video in too if you'd like to explain your predictions and compare them with your results. Can't wait to see it, boys and girls. Enjoy! Next up, time for your work it out. You're doing Wednesday, week 18. Number 1. 8 plus equals 14. Number 2. 8 plus equals 12. Number 3. 8 plus equals 11. Number 4. 8 plus equals 9. Number 5. 8 plus equals 10. Number 6. 46 equals how many tens and how many units? You can use your T and U here to help you. Number 7. How many 20 cents in €1? Have a little guess there, and I'll show you how we can figure it out later with using our counting in twos. Number 8. 20 take away 6 equals. Number 9. A big garden bucket holds more than or less than a litre of water. This is very linked to our hands-on maths investigation today, so you should be able to answer it. Number 10. Tick the 2D shape that shows half. Is it the circle, triangle, or square? Number 11. The day after tomorrow will be... And remember, days of the week get a capital letter. Number 12. Show half an hour earlier. So remember, your longhand and shorthand are going backwards. And remember, if your longhand is starting at 6, where should it go if it's moving half an hour? Number 13. 10 less than 78 is. Easy peasy in your head, just take away your 10 from your tens on the other side. Number 14. How many faces does this 3D shape have? And finally, number 15. 10 plus what makes 20? Okie doke, we're going to correct, boys and girls. Number 1. 8 plus 6 equals 14. Number 2. 8 plus 4 equals 12. Number 3. 8 plus 3 equals 11. Number 4. 8 plus 1 equals 9. Number 5. 8 plus 2 equals 10. Here I'll write my T and U over my 2-digit number, and my T is on top of my 4, so that means 4 tens, and my U is on top of my 6, so that means 6 units. 4 tens and 6 units is 46. Now, how many 20 cents in €1? Well, if you look here at my T and U above 20, how many tens are in 20? 2. Now, does anybody know how many cents is in €1? 100. So, that tells me there's 10 tens in €1 and 2 tens in 20 cents. I'm going to count in twos until I reach 10. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So that's, how many times did I count up? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I'll just put my zeros in for my units: 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. Do you see if you can count in twos normally, you'll actually be able to count in 20s as well. So how many 20 cents would fit into €1? 5. Next, 20 take away 6 is 14. And the big garden bucket holds more than 1 litre. The square shows half because there's 2 equal parts to 2 equal parts. The day after tomorrow will be. So tomorrow is Thursday and the day after that is Friday. Capital F for Friday, please. And number 12, half an hour earlier. Well, I'll start with my longhand. It was at 6, so when I'm doing half an hour, it'll go to 12. And it was in between 10 and 11. It should go to 10. So it's 10 o'clock. 10 less than 78. Well, I'll do my T and U, and you should be able to visualize this in your mind. 8 take away 0 is 8, and 7 take away 110 is 668. This is our cylinder, boys and girls. How many faces? 3. 2 flat circular faces and 1 curved folded over rectangle. And finally 15, 10 plus 10 equals 20. Give yourself a sad face, fine face or happy face and a score out of 15. Yesterday, boys and girls, we discussed 2 rules to keep safe on the internet. 1, keep your password safe, and 2, know what you can share. Don't overshare personal information. Today we're going to look at 3 and 4. Number 3, be careful of what you post. When you post something online, you can never take it back, boys and girls. Even if you try to delete it afterwards once you realize it's not a good idea, it's still on the internet. Anybody could have taken a screen grab or a screenshot and passed it around. So really be careful of what you post. There's a nice rule about think if your granny would like it if you posted that. Remember, just as if we're in person or in the yard, it's never nice to say mean things. But when you say mean things online, it's the same, but actually a bit worse, because it can be passed around again and again and again, and it's never ever properly deleted. So be very careful about what you post. And also, it's kind of linked to rule 2. Be careful if you're taking a photo and putting it up as a profile picture and you say taking it outside your house. Well, be careful that your house number can't be seen, because then anybody who ever looks at a profile picture of you, even if they're not your friend, they'll know what house you live in. So just be careful about what you post online. Number 4, keep it online for friends you don't know. I know a lot of us play games with people we don't know online, but you should only ever play with them online. And if they ever ask you to meet up with them in person, you should not, because this person, even though you might have talked to them online, they're still a stranger. So you shouldn't go trying to meet up with them if they ask you to in person. And I'd actually go a step further because of the age you are in senior infants and first class. I would say you shouldn't be playing online with anybody you don't know or haven't met in person. Okay? Well done, boys and girls, to those who have sent me in some lovely art already. It's fab, and I can't wait to see some more of your entries that we can put together for our video at Friday. Thanks, boys and girls.